Hello, it's me, Muhammad Osman from Mr. Tablet. Today we are gonna see naming alcohol. Just like before, we have four rules in naming alcohol. Here are our four rules. So let's apply the rules on this compound. Now, rule number one tells us we first need to identify the longest carbon chain with OH group. Now, definitely in this compound, this is the longest carbon chain with OH group. Rule number two tells us identify the parent compound. Now, this compound is definitely an alcohol because it contains the OH group and it does not contain any double bond or carboxylic acid group or aldehyde group. Rule number three, this has been highlighted because it is one of the most important rules while naming alcohol. Rule number three says us the carbon chain is numbered in right or left so that the carbon atom with the OH group gets the smaller possible number. Now what does it mean? Let me show you. We can either start numbering from here or from here. Let's start from here. Let's consider this carbon as 1, this carbon as 2, this carbon as 3, and this carbon as 4. In this case, the OH group gets position 2. Or we could start numbering from here. Number this carbon as 1, this carbon as 2, this carbon as 3, this carbon as 4. In that case, the OH group would get position 3. But you see, rule number 3 says us the carbon atom with the OH group should get the smaller possible number. So definitely we will start numbering from here, considering this carbon as 1. Rule number 4 says us write the names of the substituent groups following the alphabetical order as a prefix before the name of the parent alcohol. Now let us name this compound. So over here we just have one substituent group, which is a methyl group, and it is at position 3. So it's going to be 3 hyphen. Always remember to put a hyphen between a number and a word while naming organic compounds. So it's going to be 3 methyl. Now let's see how many carbons we have in our long chain. Well, we have 4 carbons in our long chain, and we will follow this rule now, alkane plus hyphen number hyphen plus all. So our long chain contains 4 carbons, so it's gonna be alkane, it's gonna be butane. It's gonna be butane. We put another hyphen and we put the number or the position, and the number of the OH group is at position 2. So butane 2 hyphen all. Like alkane plus hyphen number hyphen all. This number indicates the position of the OH group. So it becomes 3 methyl because the methyl group is at position 3. It then becomes butane because the longest chain contains 4 carbons. Butane 2 because OH group is at position 2. And finally, all, which means alcohols all. So 3-methyl butane 2-all. Let's move to this compound. Now, this compound is a bit tricky because according to, we will follow rule number 1 first. We first need to identify the longest carbon chain with OH group. So what majority does is that they consider this one as the longest chain. But this is not the longest chain with the OH group. Rather, this one is the longest chain with the OH group. Why? Because this chain contains 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5 carbon, and 6 carbon. And if we consider this one the longest chain, then this would contain 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon, and 5 carbon. So definitely this is gonna be my longest chain, this one. All right. So identify the parent compound according to rule 2. Definitely this is gonna be an alkene as an alcohol because there are only OH group, no double bond, no carboxylic acid or aldehyde group. Rule number 3, the carbon chain is numbered in right or left so that the carbon atom with the OH group gets the smaller possible number. So as we said before, that this is the longest chain. Now let's number it. So we will definitely start numbering from here. Consider this carbon as 1, this carbon as 2, this carbon as 3, this carbon as 4, this carbon as 5, and this carbon as 6. Alright. Now, rule number 4, write the names of the substituent groups following the alphabetical order as prefix before the name of the parent alcohol. Now, over here, we have two methyl groups. This one and this one. This methyl group is at position 2 and this methyl group is at position 4. So let's name this compound. The name of the compound becomes 2, 4 dimethyl. Why di? Because there are two methyl groups. Dimethyl, and my longest chain contains 6 carbons. 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5 carbon, and 6 carbon. So it's gonna be hexane. There's gonna be a hyphen, and the position of the OH group is at position 3. Hexane 3 all. So the name of the compound becomes 2, 4 hyphen dimethyl. Why dimethyl? Because there are two methyl groups, here one and here one. Hexane 3 all. We have two more examples here. We will follow the same rule. We first need to identify the longest carbon chain. So the longest carbon chain in this example contains 2 carbon, but there is exception in this 2 example is that this compound contains 2 alcohol group, 2 OH group. Hence, it is a diol. Why diol? Di means 2 and all means alcohol group. As the compound contains 2 alcohol group, we name it diol. So let's name this compound. So the name of this compound is going to be 1, 2 ethane. There's going to be a hyphen over here. 1, 2 hyphen ethane diol. 1, 2 ethane diol. Now why ethane? Because there are 2 carbon in the longest chain, and the alcohol groups or the OH groups are placed at first carbon and second carbon, which is represented by 1, 2, and diol because this entire compound contains 2 OH or 2 alcohol groups. Let's move to this example. So over here, the longest chain has 3 carbon. So definitely it's gonna be over here we have 3 OH group. So when 2 OH group was connected, we called it diol. When 3 OH group is gonna be connected, we are gonna call it triol. Tri means 3 and all means alcohol. So the name of this compound is gonna be 1, 2, 3 propane triol. 1, 3 represents a position because this alcohol group or OH group is connected with first carbon. This OH group is connected to my second carbon, and this OH group is connected to my third carbon. That's why 1, 2, 3 propane, because the longest chain contains 3 carbon, 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, and triol because there are 3 OH group. So that's all about naming alcohols. Please follow our next videos for naming carboxylic acids, ketone, aldehyde, and compounds with multifunctional groups. Thank you all.